Hello and welcome everyone. So in today's video I will be showing you how to install the EVNG using the Oracle VirtualBox. Now recently EVNG has stopped giving out the OVA version of it, so it's only allowing people to download the ISO file. So in this video I'm going to show you how to basically install the EVNG using the ISO file and by using the VirtualBox. So first of all, first thing that you need to do is to download the ISO file. So you go directly to EVNG and go to the download section. You will have to download a couple of things here. One is the click on EVNG free community edition, and you should be scrolling down here, and these are the two links that you can download. So I've already downloaded this, but you can download both of these from any of these two links. So for example, I'll go and click here. Let's see what it does. It directly downloads the file here. Now this file is already downloaded with me, but this is how you have to download this file. Okay, I'll just cancel this is around 3 gigs of file. And the next thing that you need to do is you have to download the Oracle VirtualBox. This is basically a free tool, and this is a type 2 hypervisor. So you will be downloading this from the from this or the direct website. So you can just go here, click on the Windows version, and your download has started, right? So you will wait for this download to complete, and once this download is completed, you will go ahead and follow the wizard and install this VirtualBox on your system. Now before installing this, you also have to make sure that you have enabled the virtualization in your BIOS setup, and also there are a couple of things that you need to make sure that is turned off and enabled on your system. The most important is the virtualization. How you can see if virtualization is not enabled, right click on your task manager, click here and go to the performance, click on the CPU, and you should see this virtualization field which should say enabled. If it is shows as disabled, go and change the settings in the BIOS and check for a settings called the virtualization and enable that. So that is the first thing you need to do, and download these two files. Also download the Windows client side from this link here, directly from the EVNG website. You have the mega, and you should have a Google link here. So just go ahead and download this, okay, and install it in your system. Now I'm going to download this just to show you guys how to do it. So this basically is a package which contains all the softwares needed, like putty, then you have the Wireshark and a couple of drivers that you need to download, like you also have the tool VNC, which is needed to console in the VNC the Chemo file. So this you have to download and install. So I see that the VirtualBox has been downloaded, so let's go ahead and carry on with the installation of the VirtualBox. So I'll click on the setup, and the setup wizard should start. I'll say I accept, next, next, mostly you have to keep as next only, and just say yes and next and install. Just keep the default settings, and your Oracle VirtualBox should be installed in your system. Okay, so let's wait for this to complete. Now on the other hand, the drive, the client pack, right, which I said you need to download, this is around 61 megs, and once this is downloaded, we could go ahead and also install the softwares. It's just a setup, a wizard. You just need to follow the wizard, hit next, and with the default settings, and this should be installed on your system. So that is two things. Now the third thing is your ISO file, which is already with me in my folder here somewhere. I think it's this one. Yeah, so I have this one. I think the download has started. Yes, this is also started. You see I have already have this one installed, but I will show you how to basically carry out the installation. So now you can see the VirtualBox has installed. I'll click finish, and I have clicked on this start Oracle box version 7.12 after installation. So when I click on finish, the app should start running. I can see here. Okay, so this is the tool that we want, Oracle VirtualBox Manager, right? So let's keep it like this, and let's go to the ISO file. I showed you already. This is the ISO file, which is around 3 gigabytes. So first thing you do, you go into the machine folder and click on a new machine here. Now just name the machine. This is going to be my Eve NG. Okay, Eve NG, say VirtualBox VB kind of stuff. And this is the folder where you want to keep the installation files, basically the virtual hard disk and everything. But I don't want to keep it in the C drive, as I don't have much storage available in my C drive, even though this is gonna be a thin provisioning, which means it's not gonna take all the space at the same time. I mean, it's not going to statically assign the space. So for example, I say I need a 60 GB hard disk on my virtual machine. It's not gonna eat that space from my C drive, basically upfront. The 60 GB statically is going to be thin provision, means that as the even GVM starts utilizing the memory or the space, it's gonna allocate that space or memory to the VM. But in the meantime, other applications can also use the free memory or the free space. But yeah, I will just go ahead and I will basically install this on my D drive, where I have enough space available. So I'll say I'll create a VM here, this folder which called VM, and I'll select this folder. So okay, and then the ISO. So you have to basically select the ISO file, which is in my D drive here, and OVAs EVNG, and this is the file. Select here. Okay, type you have to mention either you're gonna set it as Linux or other. Okay, version you can also say other, unknown, or 64-bit unknown, like that. That is fine. Like hit on next. Now this is asking you to select the base memory and the processors, how much you want to keep on this VM. So based on the available resources on your end, you're gonna allocate that particular thing on the machine, right? So here I have around 48 GBs of RAM and 12 virtual CPUs. So let's go ahead and assign around, let's say, 8 virtual CPUs to this, and let's say 32, let's say 32 GB of RAM. I can also go for 16. Let's go for 16. Okay, fine. And next, and then this is the virtual hard disk, how much you want to assign. Let's keep it around 60 or 64, 65. Okay, so this basically, when you select, it's gonna pre-allocate, which means statically allocate this, even though if you're not utilizing that amount. But I will just keep it as is, which is the thin provisioning. Okay, this is like if you have an existing virtual hard disk, you can attach it here, but we are not using it. This one is a fresh installation, and then hit on next. So this is a summary of what you have done. If you see that something is not matching, you can go ahead back and click on back and change that particular thing, right? So I'll just click on finish. Once that is done, I will go ahead and start or power on my VM, right? I'll click on normal start. Okay, and I will wait for this VM to be powered up, and then I will wait for the installation to start. Okay, so here you can see I'll just click on enter on the bare metal installation, the first option, right? I suppose it's showing you the version of the EVNG, which is around 6.2 right now. But yeah, that's right now. But maybe in future when you download, this might be a different version. So the process is going to remain the same. As you can see, this is basically built up on an Ubuntu system. So it's a Linux based what do you say, hypervisor, not even a hypervisor, I would say emulation tool. Okay, it basically emulates all the networking devices or the images, and let's wait for this to uh, continue. Okay, now here you have to just select the language that you want. For me it's already the English. I'll just hit on enter, and then I would say enter here, done, and selecting continue below will begin, right? So I will say continue. So now after this you will have to wait for this setup to complete fully, and then proceed with the next step. So I'm gonna fast forward this video, and once I see some other prompts that I have to intervene, I will pause the video and show you those steps. For now you just let it be like this, and just monitor the situation, right? Now, in the meantime, till this VM is getting installation, we can go ahead and install the client side. So I'll click here, and it will basically start the wizard. Click on yes, and hit on next. Next, keep the default. Hit on next, and this will again ask you to install the Ultra VNC. Hit on next, 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 next. Install. So this is what you have to do basically. And once this is done, it will again I will not want to show the latest version. I'll click on finish, and then it will again ask you to install the Wireshark. Would you like to uninstall? Because I've already installed it. I would say no, but for you maybe this pop-up will not come, or if you see this version different, so click on yes. Then for me it's the same version. As you can see, I'm going to click no, and then next, agree, default, all settings, and hit on next. Okay, once this is completed, it would prompt you for some other software to be installed, so you just go ahead with the wizard, and just follow the steps in the wizard until you see a finish or a completed prompt. Okay, so Wireshark has been installed, this has completed, so click on finish. That's it. So that was the client side pack from the EVNG, which you have to download and install. Let's move ahead back to the VM. What is the status? Okay, okay, once this is done, let's go ahead and stop. Or if you go to devices and you see optical drive and remove from virtual drive, I can see this force unmount. Let's see what happens to this, because I feel like it's again and again booting from the same this thing. So I'll go ahead and say stop the virtual machine, and now let's start it without the virtual this ISO file. Okay, now it's booting from that hard disk that we already formatted. Yeah, it is asking for the evng login. So yeah, make sure you just unmount that ISO file from that, because it's kind of a loop which again reboots the system and then it boots from the ISO file again and again. So once that is done, now we are on the second stage where you have to actually log into the evng. The evng login is root and the password would be eve. It will not show the password here, but you have to enter on that. Okay, now it will start the second stage, which is basically the installation of evng package on the ubuntu system. So we'll wait for this to complete. Okay, now looks like the stage 2 is completed. I can see the evng logo there. Okay, great. Now I see that it's asking you for the login. That is the first setup. Now again, log in with the root and password eve, which is the default one. Enter. Now it is going to ask you again for the root password, which is eve. Will not show it on the screen. Just hit enter after typing eve. Now the first thing it will ask is you for the host name. If you want to change it, you can change it here, or else you can keep it like that. So I kind of like this one. And then it'll ask you for the DNS, which you don't have mostly, so just keep it as is. And then if you want to go for DHCP, your setup basically will end here with a enter, and that's it. It will take an IP from the DHCP, but in case you want to and assign a static IP, just hit on the down arrow and the space bar. When you see the star moving to the static, hit on enter. Now here you have to specify the IP. Now the IP that I want to assign it is from my land, which is on, I think, if I go here cmd and I see IP config slash all, it is basically connected to my Ethernet, and I can see that my IP is this one. So 1.18 means 1.0. So anything after 1 I can assign to my evng, but make sure it's not used by any other machine on your system. So I will go ahead with 192, maybe cancel 192 192.168.1 dot, maybe say 198, say, so that 255.255.255.0 is my server. Default gateway is my router, which is on 1.1, and DNS I will give the same, or if you want to give the Google, which is 8.8.8, you can give. Okay, let me give it a secondary. The NTP server I'll leave blank, and then I will hit on the direct enter. If you have a proxy that you want to set up, you can set it here, but for me this is my home lab, so I don't have a proxy. So that ends there. Now it will reboot and you will see this as the IP assigned on that interface, and after this GUI it should show you the IP, which is the 198, and you will see, fingers crossed, and you can see on the top that the IP is this one. Okay, now you can just directly go to your browser, and before that you might need to assign this to that network, but no, I will just test it first, and if it fails then I will show you, or even if it passes I will show you what to do. Ping 192.168.1.198, so I can see it doesn't what do you say, it is not reachable, so I'll do a continuous ping, and let's troubleshoot here. Now when you go to the system here, right click and you go to settings. Now you check the network. Now it is saying a NAT, which I don't want. I want it to be bridged. Okay, and that to the interface that I'm using a LAN Ethernet port. But if you're using a Wi-Fi, you make sure you select the hardware here. Okay, and then promiscuous port, allow all. Okay, that is the adapter one. Hit on OK, and it is saving. Once this is done, should be able to reachable here. Yeah, as you can see, my pings are successful now. Now if I go ahead here and type the IP in my browser with an HTTP only, not an HTTPS, it should prompt me for the EVNG, this username and password. Username on the GUI is admin and password is the same EVE. Hit on enter on the native console. If you want to save it, you can save it. If you don't want to, you can just click on cancel and then add a new lab. Let's say this is my test lab, then right click, and then you can see all these options. You can enter, add a node, you can add a network you want, right? You can add a picture if you want, you can add a custom shape, right? Square or something, whatever you want, you can do it. You can add text, my first lab, kind of something like this, and then you can change the color, font, whatever you want. So it is here, my first lab, and hit a node. All the nodes will be grayed out. You have to add the nodes. In order to see that, you can see my other videos on the channel, but here we will test with a VPC. So you can go ahead and start the VPC, double click to access the console based on the emulator, the console application that you're using. It's going to open in that. And so I have this one, and I will just set the IP to 10.1.1.1/24. This is how you, I think it's just IP. This is how you set it, right? Yes. So it is going to set this as 10.1.1.1, and then you can say show IP, I guess. Yeah, you can see this. So this is how you do it, right? So you can also set the gateway IP 10.1.1. You can see the gateway is 000/24, and then I think you say the gateway kind of this. Yeah. Now if you again check the show IP, it should show you the gateway assign. Like that, you can specify a lot of things, but your lab is not going to be only VPCs. You will have multiple devices from multi vendors, and then you will set up all this, right? So this is how you basically set up the EVNG using the ISO file on the VirtualBox. And one more thing that I want to show you is when you go on the settings, and then when you go on the system, you should see the processor. And yeah, so you have to basically enable this in case something is not working. Okay, make sure you enable this. I'll say okay, but to enable this you will have to shut it down, and make sure you don't shut it down from the from this, right? Don't do it. Better to go to the CLI and enter the command, which is first root mve, and then just enter the Linux command, which is shut down sh. Now it will gracefully shut down the VM, which will not result in the database getting corrupted. Make sure you just follow this setup, and then you go ahead and make changes to your what do you say, VM, right? Enable this. Okay, whatever you want to change here, you just turn off the VM and then you do the changes. Okay, so that would be all for this video. I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe.